Happy New Year, everybody, and thank you for tuning in for another beer review. It's Beer Monster O'Clock. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look like I'm doing dry January, does it? What are your thoughts on that, guys? Are any of you people doing dry January? Would you like to see me review some alcohol-free beers? I don't know. I don't really see the point in them, to be honest. But there you go. We're all different. People that are doing it, good luck to you if you're giving it a go. And I don't think I could do it, to be perfectly honest. So, we move on. And today I'll be reviewing a beer by the Shepherd's Neame brewery, based in Faversham, not too far away from me, actually, in Kent. And this is a bottle of their 1698 Kentish Strong Ale. It's 6.5% ABV, so it's got a bit of balls about it, this one. And I thought I'd already reviewed this, but it was actually the Bishop's Finger by Shepherd's Neame I've reviewed. And I had a little look at the bottle, and I thought, I'll just check through see if I've reviewed it. And it turns out I haven't. And I'm glad I haven't reviewed it, because it also says on the bottle that it's bottle conditioned. And if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know that I really do rate the bottle conditioned beers normally. And they're definitely the best version of a bottled ale that you can get. A lot more close to the cask. You've got there's live sediment in the beer that sort of keeps it nice and fresh, and very similar to having it straight from the cask. Here's a look at your bottle cap. The bottle does look a little bit boring, don't it? At least it's in a nice brown bottle though. But it looks old-fashioned, doesn't it? It's not the sort of thing I think youngsters would look at and think, yeah, I'm going to pick that one up. I think perhaps Shepherd's Neame should look at, I don't know whether they should or not. Should they modernise their bottles a bit? Maybe they'd sell a few more. Or should they keep it old-fashioned? Because all the old boys probably like it like that. I don't really know. It's an interesting one, isn't it? But it ain't the sort of thing that jumps out at you on the shelf, is it? So I can see why it's probably not popular with the youngsters. Let's crack her open and see what she's all about, shall we? And see what I reckon on it. I got it from Asda for £2.10, and it was also in the 4 for 3 deal. So considering it's quite a strong one, and it's bottle conditioned, and everything's so bloody expensive these days, I would say that's actually quite reasonable, really, all things in consideration, especially if you're buying 4 of them. It ain't too bad, is it? And it's also apparently thrice hopped, which I think is another word for like triple hopped. But thrice hopped means they've just hopped it at 3 different stages during the brewing process, not 3 different hops, if you know what I mean. So I think that's why the difference in the word thrice instead of just triple hopped. I'm not sure, I'm just guessing, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's nice to know that they sort of take the time to go back 3 different times and add extra hops to the beer. And also it being bottle conditioned and that, they obviously care about their beer, Shepherd's Neame. So that's nice to know, isn't it? Just makes you feel like they care, and it makes you care, doesn't it? Right, let's have a look at it. There we go. It's a nice ambery, coppery sort of colour. You can see sediment. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but there's live sediment floating around in the glass, which you do tend to get from the bottle conditioned beers. And it's all good. It adds to the flavour. Nothing to worry about. Chuck it down your neck. Don't try and leave it in the bottle and pour slowly. Otherwise you won't end up with a very hairy chest like me. Yeah, that's what the sediment does. Right, yeah, it's kind of a, we'll say clear amber colour, but it's not really clear because there's loads of like micro sediment. But you know what I mean. Once that settles, that'll be a nice clear sort of colour. Let's get the news in it and check out the aromas of this 1698 Shepherd's Neame Kentish Ale. Oh, I'm still not feeling 100%. You can probably tell I look a bit run down. So the hoot is not on full capacity still, but I'm doing my best. It smells nice. It's quite sweet smelling though. It's giving me sort of slightly Christmassy vibes actually. We've done with that now, haven't we? But it's like very fruity, like dark fruits, a little bit of like citrus zesty sort of aroma. Toffee, it could be caramel or toffee. I always struggle with them too. Maybe a touch of licorice. It's got that kind of fruitcake kind of aroma. It smells quite nice. I do wish that I was better so I could smell it properly, but hopefully the taste is still there. Let's chuck it down the neck and find out if I like it, shall we? A little bit worried about it does smell quite sweet. But it does look like a really quality beer actually in the glass, so hopefully I'm going to like it, guys. Cheers everybody. Bosh. Let's chuck it down the neck and see whether I think it's worth a buy. Whoa. Got a bit of something about it. I like it. I do like it, and I can tell it's a good quality beer, but perhaps it's not for me. I'll get into that in a sec. But it's definitely decent. What I mean by that is I don't think it's for my tastes, my personal taste, but I do think a lot of people will like that. So we'll go through what it tastes like and stuff and see whether it sounds like the sort of thing you would like. But just from that first impression is I do like it, but for me it's going to be a one and done beer. You know, I mean 6.5% ABV in it. I'll enjoy one of them and I'll move on. And that is because it's sweet, and I don't particularly like sweet beers. This is quite sweet. It's like a brown sugar sweetness about it. Anyway, the body. It's got a very nice body, medium to full bodied for me, and it's actually nice and smooth. Again, the bottle conditioned beers, they do tend to have that more closer to cask mouthfeel and smoothness about them. And they really are fantastic. So much better than the ones that aren't bottle conditioned, and they're also not too overly carbonated. Again, with this one, look, where it's bottle conditioned, it's not fizzy like a lager or something, which you get with a lot of them. Right, let's go again and think about what sort of flavours we can pick up. It's definitely more malty than hoppy. It got like, it's like a toffee or caramel type malt, giving off a bit of sweetness, and then you get hit with the kind of fruitcake like tastes of definitely getting like a cherry, like a cherry and blueberry and like a dried dark fruit sort of combo going on. It's actually very nice. But it is slightly rich and slightly sweet, which, you know, some people love that sort of stuff. And that's why I'm not saying, just because it's not really my thing, I believe this is a really good beer, but it's just not my beer, if that makes sense. But the quality is definitely there, and I will still enjoy this one. It's definitely got kind of a fruit and nut kind of vibe. It just reminds you a little bit of a fruit cake. It's quite Christmassy. You're getting a little touch of alcohol, but I mean it's 6.5%. I suppose that's to be expected, but it's not like overly boozy. It's just like, again, like a Christmas cake would be. There's a bit of booze in there. The old nan or the mother who was made the Christmas cake was a little bit heavy-handed with the booze. But if I'm going to have a Christmas cake, I want it to be nice and boozy. So I don't mind this being a little bit boozy. It's not overly boozy. Somebody's just, you know, put a good amount of booze in it, in the old Christmas cake, but they haven't gone too mental, you know. As you get towards the end, you're getting the hops. It's like for me, it's like a citrus rind hoppy sort of ness. Definitely like a citrus peel, but I can't tell you what citrus peel. Perhaps orange, perhaps even a touch of grapefruit. It's really difficult to tell, especially with me being bloody ill at the minute. I'm not really getting any licorice, which I was getting a touch of that on the aroma, I think. Yeah, you've got a slight bitterness, but I think if it was a slightly more bitter, then it might cut through a bit more of that sweetness for me. But one thing I do like, despite it being slightly sweet, it's actually not building. I probably could have more than one actually, which is why you need to get a bit of the beer down you. A lot of people have one sip and they review a beer. I don't get how you can do that, because already, first mouthful, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. But it's starting to win me round, and that's why it's so important. If you're going to review a beer, you drink the bloody thing, or at least a decent amount of the thing, you know. You can't just go 8 out of 10 and pour the rest down the sink. It doesn't work like that, does it? A little rant there, but that's just my thoughts. It's an experience, isn't it? Some of them get you start hating it. You get to the bottom, you might like the first few mouthfeels, and by the time you get to the end, you're like, oh no, I actually don't like that. I've had enough of it, or sometimes it takes a while for it to warm to you. You've got to sort of get used to the taste and start appreciating it more. And it's a journey, isn't it? It's a journey, and you've got to make the full journey to decide if you like it or not, in my opinion. Touch of spice as well come through, like a peppery spice, peppercorny sort of spice, mixed in with that bitterness. But it's a low level bitterness. This is definitely growing on me. There's a nice dryness on the finish as well, which I wasn't really noticing at first. But it's like a nice crisp, dry finish to this one. It's starting to win me round. After the first little mouthfeel, I was thinking, it's just not for me. This is going to be about a 6 beer. But for me, this has gained a couple of marks just by actually drinking more of the beer. It's really starting to grow on me, actually. I mean, ideally, if you wasn't reviewing this, I'd say this is a little bit more of a sipper. Take your time, appreciate the flavours. You'll probably pick up loads of stuff that I'm not getting right now. But I don't want to sit here for half hour drinking the beer to tell you if I like it or not, because beer reviews are not the most exciting thing in the world, are they? That's why I try to sort of have a bit of a laugh here and there with it, because they're quite boring, aren't they? Anyway, let's get a bit more down the neck and see if we can get anything else. That has really, really grown on me, that has. It may be the best beer I've tried from Shepherd Neame. I don't think I've tried loads of them, considering they're like a local brewery to me. I've actually not tried many of their beers, but I'd like to try more, especially if they're doing the old bottle conditioning jobby. I really like that. That's grown on me a lot. I even fancy having another bottle now, and considering my first impressions was one and done, now I'm sort of getting to the bottom of this glass and thinking, I wish I could have another one after the review and sort of sip away at it and appreciate it a bit more, Right, let's chuck the last bit down the neck and give it a score out of 10, because I'm still not sure. It got nicer with every mouthful. It really did, and all the things I thought were going to become an issue on the first impressions did not become an issue, guys. And oddly, sometimes I'll take a first sip and I think, oh, the beer's put a smile on my face, and I think straight away it's good. The beer didn't particularly put a smile on my face at the start, but it has now. And that smile's going to go soon, because the beer's bloody gone, and I actually really liked it. It really grew on me. As I say, in my head, you can't help it, but you start thinking about the score from the first sip. And I was thinking a 6. I'm pushing towards a 9 now. I'd say I need another one of these beers to really give it a true rating. So I'm going to stick at like an 8.8 at the minute. But it wouldn't surprise me if I had one more, whether that even made it up to the 9s. I really do like that. I think they've done a fantastic job of that. And the richness that I was so worried about, it just doesn't build. It just stays the same from the first mouthful to the last. And I actually think I could drink a few of these. More than 2, actually. The problem, what will slow me down, will probably be that it's 6.5%. But yeah, I'll really rate that. And I'll definitely think it's worth a buy. And I'll be picking that up again. For sure, especially when I'm feeling better in that, because that's a nice little beer, that is. So I'll recommend that if you've not tried it, guys, and give it time as well. For me, it took a bit of time. You could be the same. Anyway, I'm waffling now, aren't I? How long's the video? 14 minutes or something. Jesus, for a bottle of Shepherd Neame. Yeah, never mind. It is what it is. That's how long it took. And thank you for tuning in, guys. Smash that like button if you made it this far, you crazy asshole. Don't know if you've managed that, but yeah, you're a real one if you have. You are the real fans, and I really appreciate that. And the people that I really would like to do more for, and tell me what beers you would like to be reviewed, guys, and I'll be happy to try and seek out that beer and review it for you, because I do this for you guys, the viewers, and lets me vent off a bit of steam, and I quite enjoy it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done already, guys, and again, have a fantastic new year. And I'm not doing dry January, as I said, but I'm going to try not to drink any shitty UK brewed lagers in January. It's not a promise, but I'm going to try and do like a bit of a real ale January, because I think people need to start drinking more things like this instead of bloody crappy UK brewed lagers that are supposed to be Spanish or Italian or whatever, because this is so much better. Anyway, bye darlings. The voice is still a bit croaky.